Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm going to do a quick one here. Going to follow up on the weekly close and see how we opened up for the week. Sorry, it's been real busy around here. And let's make sure I got liveness. Yep, I got liveness. So a dollar closed last week. This is a weekly chart. Dollar closed last week with a 2-bar reversal. That 2-bar reversal can get rejected by resistance, or it can pop across and back inside that channel. So I'll keep an eye on that. Here comes the 8 coming across. I suspect that the price is going to come down, come back into resistance. But once it gets into resistance, we'll see how it reacts. And that's a weekly close. Opening so far inside the previous candle for the weekly chart. And you can see that pop across. I got the AB bottom, which is the tall tail for the reverse head and shoulders to start up. I got the left and the head. That's the A, V bottom, and then crossing over support or crossing over resistance. So I'm imagining this is going to come back into support. And then find its way back into resistance somehow. Here comes that 8 or that 34 coming across. It's our trend. So it's going to build, go into resistance. See what happens when it gets there. Does it hit it and back off? Does this pattern even form? Because right now I got a left shoulder, head, and then the right shoulder is going to be coming in. So a flat top break coming into resistance in the next couple of weeks, I guess. It's a daily chart, so I would say 2 weeks into resistance to see how that takes. No guesstimation. S&P on the weekly close. I had to take a gander at these before I started. I don't do the usual, just jump right in, but I've been absent for a few days. So I took a gander at the long-term, short-term, and it looks like it's coming into support here. And we're waiting for that measured move to hit from the previous breakout. That's the measured move there. So right now it's kind of weak breakout, coming back into support where the previous break was. And it's a weekly. Daily, looks like it's fallen over a little bit. I got a double top with an exhaustion move, whipsaw, saucy action right there. So that's a double top. 1, 2, top, and then the exhaustion move. That exhaustion move could be the tall tail right there for the everlasting downfall that we are expecting sooner or later. See the exhaustion, the wick pointing up, closing back below previous highs. That's a whipsaw. Closing a double top, closing inside below previous highs, and then from there it closed below the 8 today. So momentum is dying. I got a double top that's coming back into support where the previous break was. Let's see if support holds, or does it fall back into the pattern and just fall right on through. Seen that plenty of times. Just one last final exhaustion, and there's our candle. That's an exhaustion move. So that could be the end, the start of the end. I thought that this was going to take better than it did, but lo and behold, if it comes back into the pattern, then we've got this thing, this 2-bar pattern that we were looking at forever back in play. So let's see how this exhaustion move fares. It's supposed to fill in that measured move, but we could just get a nice big whipsaw outside the pattern, back inside the pattern, and then it's so steep in here, it just fall right through. See how that takes. I'm looking at very bearishness. It's closing below the 8 on the daily. I'm thinking that momentum is dying. I'm not sure how much support is all the way up here in no man's land. I mean, look how straight up that is. I'm just not sure if we have support on previous breaks, way up there. It could be the start of a head and shoulders top too. The AB top. It's just the opposite of that AB bottom. See if a head and shoulders top comes in. Other than the exhaustion move and the close below the 8 on the daily, I don't see anything wrong with it just consolidating. Although I've been pretty sure since it's straight silliness, straight up. And you know everyone's pulling their money out. Retail sector sucks. No one's spending any money. Everyone's keeping their cash at home and keeping it in no banks. No one's buying cars. Housing market. I'm pretty sure that the housing and car market is the indicators that we all watch for, but I see a lot of houses for sale. Not sure about the buyers. Rising interest rates, I'm not sure about all that, but definitely car market's having trouble. Retail market, this thing's got to come down sooner or later, and when it does, just watch out because there's no support up there. It's a small little crack box pattern that it broke out of. I don't know. Hyperinflation says it's going to keep going straight up. The VIX still trying to hug that bottom, coming back across. I got an inverted hammer on the close for the week. Oh no, that was confusing myself. That's this week, inverted hammer so far. So it's so far for the week on the open, it's coming into support. Oh, there's another one. There you go. That's better. That's better. It's a nicer looking inverted hammer anyways. So pop across, came back into support. It looks like the VIX is heating up. After that one push over here, I wonder how far it's going to go this time. Way out of proportion, I bet. Okay, so daily, I've got the body closing inside the previous candle, but the whole candle is not. So I got partial bearish harami. Dow Jones. Let's see how we close. Looks like it's reaching. Someone's trying to grab that last sell. I don't know. Watch for the previous high. If that previous high does not hold, it's liable to fall into the range. And if it does that, I would suggest that the 13 would cross over the 8 handedly on a weekly chart, and it should come back into support sooner or later. Watch previous highs. I don't see a reversal yet. Watch for previous high breaks. Watch for the previous high over here not to hold the support. It's liable to fall into the range. And if it does that, it might catch momentum and just fall into the supports. The previous trend line, which is 50% of this candle. I got support on the previous range here. I don't know, steep lines going straight up. I don't see any kind of support. I see things just slicing right past any kinds of support. It's way overextended, and we all know this. We're just waiting for that time to fall over. Now, the Nasdaq, I did notice that we do have a reversal on a weekly chart last week. 2-bar reversal. It opened up, closed all the way back in, encompassing. We got a bearish piercing 2-bar pattern, dark cloud cover. I don't know, any way you want to put it. That is bearish off that top. And today we're closing, or the week, we're closing inside the 8, underneath the 8. Always close above the 8. There's that, oh, look at that candle. That was very noticeable. Once that broke down on the previous low here, wham, 7 hour. That's pretty steep, encompassing all those previous candles. That dark cloud cover is encompassing all of these candles. So that whole pattern is given up. It's broken into the next range. Only lines of support is that 34 trend. And looking at that candle, I am guessing that we are in bearish territory coming up. Now, I'm going to be bearish until, well, I'm always bearish because I'm heavy on a silver gold side, but I'm not going to be bearish longer term until we cross over that weekly 34 on the downside. Once it crosses downside, watch it come back into resistance. That's your best short. So this can just go do one of these things and then recover, consolidate, and just bounce off support. So what I'm looking for is a cross down back in that bearish retracement so it can fall down. Nasdaq is bearish. Crude coming into support. Support's got to hold. I'm hearing rumblings of the petrodollar just dying out, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure where this is going to take us. Support's always had a hold. You got a thin line of support there. It looks like it's been stairs have been into support, so it's got to bounce. It's got a double bottom right now on the right end there. A higher low, but pretty handedly rejection right here. Rejection, rejection, and now the higher low so far for the week, knocking out a bottom with that inverted hammer. There's another inverted hammer, so it looks like we can hit a little turn. Nice U off that bottom. It's got to hold support. Watch for the rejection into the 8. Watch it fall over in that case. But right now it looks like we got a nice little U consolidation, popped into resistance, came back into support. Looks like a good buy for coal for the next few days at least. Nice inverted hammer. Never neglect the inverted hammer over support. It's the pop over resistance back into support that makes that inverted hammer so special. This is just a consolidation phase. Let's see where it ended up on. Consolidating over support. Be nice to hold that previous candle's 50% roll. Looks like it's having a little trouble right now. But a little spike low into support could just handle that real quick. That's why you put your buys at the support, because that little quick come down and get you. Those are the nice ones. When it comes all the way back to get your wish. This one looks like it's just consolidating. Nikkei looks bullish from here. It's a weekly chart. Daily chart. Looks like a consolidation. A little stair step. Watch for break outside the pattern. So looking for that spike low on the longer term chart. Doesn't look good right now, but I got plenty of support. So look for that spike low and then the turnaround. This could be the left shoulder. Oh, that is the left shoulder, right shoulder. Oh yeah, that is, look at that. Oh, look at this, bigger long-term. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Those right shoulders always look for that spike low. They always get you. It's the shakeout. I love that. Love the right shoulder trades. You can get the best prices on those. 1 ounce is running and you're buying. Looks like I got a whipsaw back into the pattern. Let's see how this holds. It broke down support, came back through resistance. So let's see how this ends up. Looks like we're breaking down, then it's got a little recovery on its hands. Coal. It's very bullish on coal. It just kind of fell over, didn't it? That could turn out to be a nice little whipsaw if we can keep momentum going on the upside. Let's see how we close on the weekly. Yeah, that 2-bar pattern coming off that weekly chart. It's just a spike low. 2-bar pattern right there, reversal. I'm pretty sure I was pretty bullish in here as it's doing its thing, and then it came down way too far. But we got a 2-bar reversal back into the pattern. So I got a reversal pattern, and I'm above support. So I'm bullish on coal after this little debacle, because it was going to break down, but it recovered nicely. Just got to hold support. Previous lows. 10-year, let's see, that's 10-year. Should be bearish. We're running off of a double top, and we're just barely hitting support. Broke down the upward pattern. Bam, bam, bam. It looks like it's bearish. Look how it comes into resistance. Does it pop across the 8 to gather support, or does it just get rejected? I'm skeptical that it's going to hold support with this very, very ominous double top. Shanghai Composite. That had a double top as well. Broke down, made a nice hammer, 2 hammer, nice recovery. It's popping across the 8 now. Let's see if this gets rejected and gets spit back out, or keeps going. Nice little recovery. Spike low, bam, 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 bam. It looks bullish from here. Shanghai Composite. Crossing over the 8, come back into support, back over, into, back in, bouncing nicely. Here's the price pinch. The 8 and the 34 with the price right there. I'm looking for a pop on Shanghai. Let's get the gold. Get the gold. All right, so for the daily, we came into support again, where we're looking for that opposing point anyways. Not sure if it's done. We are working with a double top again. That could be just a nice cup and handle over support. Watch that 34. Make sure it holds the 34 on the downside for gold. Yeah, we can definitely come into support if we need to. But a high-level consolidation at this point would be just acceptable. But we are working with a double top. In the next couple weeks, it has to take out that double top, or it's going to take and momentum's going to follow, and then we'll have to struggle with hanging on to support. That's what happens when you go along with the weekly charts, because this can take all year and a day. But we have a whole bunch of bullishness going on. We're over the 34, the 8, the 13, and the 34 are all pointing slightly up. So let it consolidate. Let it gather its legs. Popped across, came back in. Popped across, came back in. And then we got rejected right there. So let us get a nice cup and handle over the 34. Nice consolidation, bullish pattern. That would be nice to see. Silver. Looks like silver's coming back into support. Got crushed, 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 crushed. Boom. That's a double top there, or head and shoulders top. We never got to 1850 on that last run, did we? Make sure support holds. We need another higher low. Looks like it's getting brutalized right now. Time to go buy some more silver to see who's, tell the bankers who's boss. Be your own bank. Go buy some more physical silver. This is not going to stay this low forever. That looks like a rejection over the 34 there. We made it above the 34, above the 34, came back, and then we got rejected. So it's got to gather its legs. I got an inverted hammer here. I got a nice little small little hammer here. It's on its lows for the week. I think it's doing one of these hard and fast ones. Trying to shake out all the longs. That's what I personally think. We got a line of support. Let's see if we'll hold. Looks like it's breaking previous lows right now on the downside on the daily. I was hoping for better for silver. Looks like copper busted across the pattern back into support. Pop, came back in. Now I got the 813 crossing over the trend as well. Popped over the downward trend line, came back into support. That was your best buy. Copper looks bullish. That's a bullish retracement consolidation. Looking for a better pop on steel. They're really just holding this one down for a reason, I think. After that crushing downfall, I was expecting to have bounced pretty nicely into resistance by now. And it's got no juice at all. It looks like it could be bearish as soon as it reaches resistance here shortly. Too bad for steel. Bitcoin broke. It made it just $6 outside the measured move. I'm going to call that a win. The second measured move is in, and I got the first measured move. Look at where the 34 has come up to meet the start of the second measured move. So where's our support? All the way down at 21. Bearish encompassing double top. It's encompassing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nearly 6, 7 weeks or 7 days of bullishness. And so far for the week, a 2-bar pattern forming with a double top. So let it come into support. Look where the 8 is. Right at the second measured move. The start of the second measured move was about 2100. So this is just, yeah, let it come back into support. Everyone's going to call it a bubble. And it's gone straight up. So let it come back into support. Gather its legs and try again. I don't think we've seen the last of Bitcoin. We could spend a couple months, 3, 4, 6 months. A good pattern would take about 6 months on a weekly chart. So there you go. Let it go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'd like to see it go sideways for a while because I can't figure out my trades on the altcoins because I'm trying to gauge whether or not Bitcoin's going straight up. Because if Bitcoin's going straight up, why am I buying altcoins? I'm just going to keep it in Bitcoin. You know. But now that it's coming back in, I've took a hit on my account because it was at $3,000 yesterday, and now it's at, well, it came all the way down to 2,500, I think, below 24. or below 25. I don't know. Let it come into support. Let's make sure support holds. Let it go back and forth for a while and see what happens. Maybe do a quick one. It'll be one of those 1, 2 punches on a weekly chart. That'd be awesome. It's pretty bullish out there. Gold silver ratio looks like gold's been a better buy for the past couple weeks on the up and up here. 74 ounces per. No, wait a minute. Scratch that. No, silver's the better buy. Yeah. Looks like silver's going to be a better buy for a while. This thing's bullish. Popped across, came back in. Now it's doing one of these things. Going to pop across here. Maybe we'll see $80 or $80 per. Or what is it? 74 ounces of silver per 1 ounce of gold. So I remember saying that's the best price you'll ever get over here. I'm a big silver fan, junk silver. GDX, let's see how these miners are holding up. Nothing important to see here. Trade outside the patterns. Looks like we had a little pop. I don't see anything really going on here. Trade outside that pattern. That's a weekly chart. GDXJ, same thing. That looks a little bullish. GDXJ might have a little kick this week. Got to get across that line. Yeah, GDX looks bullish. See if we can get that thing kicking. Nugget. Trade outside that pattern. It's got to be a bottom. I mean, it came all the way back into the previous bottoms, made a higher low. It's got to be a bottom, right? Trade outside the pattern. JNUG. Where are you, JNUG? I saw you coming down into support last Friday. There it is. JNUG's building. Probably another perfect time to buy another 2-week option. Get that thing popping across the 34, sell it, let it come back into support, buy it again. This is when it gets hot. Build, 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 pop. Come back into support, pop, 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 all the way up. Buy into support, sell into resistance. AG, wow, that's having a hard time right there. That might break previous lows and come back down into support one more time and gather its legs. Hate to see that happen, but looks like it's going that way. Weekly chart close on AG. Trade outside the pattern. It's been consolidating in that whole phase there for how long? Jeez. AG's held its own though. So once it figures out and it breaks outside of that pattern, I imagine it's gonna be a nice little gainer. NIK, same thing, it's building. Looks like it's been rejected by resistance a couple of times, but held support the whole time up. Looks like we might, yeah, look at that. Little cup and handle, cup and handle. Break previous highs. I think 2 and above would be awesome for this one. Otherwise, use previous highs as your support. Let's see what happened. Exhausted. This one might get a pop across resistance. It's building. Hasn't fallen over. I got a double bottom now. So look for a pop across the 8 into the 13, back into support. That's the first move. UEC. Looks like it's building over support. And the reverse head and shoulders there finally. Break previous highs. You might get a nice gainer out of that one. Weekly charts. URRE still trying to get, it's going sideways now, holding support. Need to get above 813. Cross that 34 that we've been waiting for. It's got to hold support. Looks like it's doing a dance over support now. It's just got to get its legs and go up for more. Someone wanted to watch CLF. Cliffs. Let's see where Cliffs is. Oh, where'd it go? CLF. There she is. That needs to be next to steel. CLF is a natural resources. I believe I think 70% of their business is mined is iron ore. So this got crushed as well. Looks like it's gathering its legs. Made a nice little U pattern here. I imagine it's going to come up and hit resistance in and around 7. Once it gets to 7, does it do a quick retracement? Does it go all the way back into support slowly? Or does it pop across the 34 coming back into support above the 7? Look for the rejections and look for the pop across. It's above previous low, so it might ride up this next range, which is right there at resistance. So if you want to trade it, sell it into resistance, buy it back into support. Or it'll pop across, and then you'll use that 7 as your support, the previous high. Pretty much got crushed. Nice little J curve going on, okay? I know that it's probably going to pop across that 34 with a vengeance. And all that great volume to end it all right there, too. Looks like the measured move is in on the downside. The top side movement to the downside movement. Looks like it even got extended a little bit further than usual, too. From the 34 to the peak. So then that would be the measured move there. So it's below the first measured move. It's in the second measured move on the downside. So it needs to come up a little bit, hold its legs. Got a nice little pattern over here for support once it gets back across. Ultimately, I want to see it get across that 34 before, or maybe a better pattern. You might get rejected again and come back into support. Just know to trade it into resistance, buy into support. I know a lot of traders that have just traded one stock their whole career, 6 months out of a time, and just make tons of money. Once it pops across, you sell it, buy into support. Once it pops, you buy into support. Pop, sell, 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 pop, buy it back into support. I was just trade in and out, in and out, in and out, all day long, weeks on end. That's how they made their bread and butter. Just one stock. Know it well. Just a quick gander. Let's see if Nasdaq is being pulled down by Google, or is it being pulled down by Apple? Oh, they're both bearish. Nasdaq does not look promising. Looks like it's going to be the first one to go. Wham. You never know. There you go. That's it for me, guys. I'll try to be more consistent, but I was promised some days off. People so I can get those days off, and those people didn't work out. So now I even have to work more by going to the next city over to work at another shop for a couple days a week because we can't fill the spot with anyone decent. So I do my best to get back on schedule, but man, times are tough right now. Let me know what's going on out there. Thanks for all the questions, comments. I'm glad that people are missing me, and I'm trying to get back on schedule. But I'll see you guys.